Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. Why is North Korea a warlike country? North Korea is a poor country. This country often experiences humanitarian crises and famines throughout the country, killing millions of people. This is not a factor that brings in the international community of people. North Korea is an extremely belligerent country. The regime in Pyongyang has a history of nuclear missile launches and assassination plots that threaten other countries in the region. But why? Why North Korea is such a warlike country? We will find out soon. Before going into the story, remember to like and share, especially subscribe to the channel to support me. Now let's find out. A brief overview of North Korea. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea is a country in East Asia, forming the northern half of the Korean Peninsula and bordering China and Russia to the north at the Yalu River and Tumen, and South Korea to the south at the Korean demilitarization. The country's western border is formed by the Yellow Sea, while its eastern border is defined by the Sea of Japan. North Korea is a totalitarian state with a complete cult of personality surrounding the Kim Il-sung family. North Korea implements Songun, a military-first policy that prioritizes the Korean People's Army in state affairs and resource allocation. North Korea possesses nuclear weapons. The country's number of active soldiers is among the largest in the world. North Korea is a member of the United Nations, the Non-Aligned Movement and the G77. The reason why North Korea is belligerent is because of this country's history. North Korea was established in 1948. The period of Japanese domination of Korea, 1905 to 1945, ended with World War II. North Korea was supported by the Soviet Union to establish a socialist government in the north from the 38th parallel and the United States. Kai helped establish a capitalist government south of the 38th parallel, but the United States and the Soviet Union could not agree on the application of co-mandate in Korea, and the northern government refused to hold a general election. Unified throughout the country, the war lasted until July 27, 1953, when United Nations forces and the Korean People's Army and the Chinese Volunteer Army signed the Korean War Armistice Agreement. The Korean Demilitarized Zone divides the two countries into two regions. After war, North Korea was led by Kim Il-sung as first Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and Chairman of the National Defense Commission of Korea from 1948 until his death on July 8, 1994. In reality, Kim was acknowledged as the holder of the nation's highest position. He was succeeded by his son Kim Jong-il, and then by his grandson Kim Jong-un. The means of production in North Korea are owned by the state through state-owned enterprises and cooperatives, and most services such as healthcare, education, housing and food production are publicly owned. Sponsoring or subsidizing countries. However, by the early 1990s, North Korea began to fall into crisis. The main reason is due to the volatile international situation, especially the dissolution of the Soviet Union and the Eastern European bloc, causing North Korea's foreign trade industry to be seriously affected. Due to the loss of major socialist partners, export turnover decreased by 90% and average income decreased by 2/3. North Korea's agricultural machinery is mainly imported from the Soviet Union, which is no longer in supply. It can be said that North Korea is stuck in economic political thinking and international political conflicts dating back to the Cold War. The slow change in North Korea's economic and political thinking may be because North Korea has achieved many achievements in the past with its centrally planned economic model, while Vietnam completely failed with its model. This should be changed quickly. Moreover, they are in a state of war with South Korea and the US. Due to the blockade and economic embargo of the United Nations, North Korea is isolated from the international community. The space for North Korea's international political cooperation is narrowed, causing the North Korean economy to stagnate. North Korea has fallen from an upper middle-income country to a lower middle-income level. This in turn allows North Korea to use this perceived aggression to carry out further hostile actions. Whether the North Korean regime is right to view other countries in the region as aggressive is a widely debated issue, but North Korea's perceived use of aggressive behavior cannot be ignored. This consciousness serves as one's justification and hostility. The next reason why North Korea is belligerent is that North Korea's politics take place within the framework of the state's official philosophy, a concept created by Hwang Jang-yeop and later by Kim Il-sung. Juche theory is the belief that through self-reliance and a strong independent state, true socialism can be achieved. North Korea's political system is built on the principle of centralization. While the North Korean constitution officially guarantees the protection of human rights, in practice there are severe limits on freedom of speech, and the government closely monitors the lives of North Korean citizens. In addition to the parties, there are more than 100 mass organizations controlled by the Workers' Party of Korea. Non-party members are required to join one of the organizations. This position, Kim Il-sung led the country from 1948 until his death in July 1994, holding the positions of General Secretary from 1949 to 1994, known as Chairman of the Party Central Committee from 1949 to 1972, Prime Minister from 1948 to 1972 and President from 1972 to 1994. He was succeeded by his son, Kim Jong-il. While Kim Jong-il has been his father's successor since the 1980s, it took 3 years for him to consolidate his power. He was appointed to his father's position as General Secretary in 1997, and in 1998 became Chairman of the National Defense Commission, which is the supreme commander of the armed forces. The constitution was amended to include this position constitutes the supreme power position of the North Korean leadership. Most analysts believe that the title is a product of the cult of personality the Kim family built during its 60 years in power. World Western circles generally view North Korea as a dictatorship. The military's status has been strengthened, and it appears to occupy the center of the North Korean political system, following the military spirit and applying military measures. Another reason why North Korea is a belligerent country is that to prevent attacks against them, the Pyongyang regime is very paranoid that they will be overthrown. War deterrent measures are adopted. At an expanded meeting of the North Korean Central Military Commission chaired by leader Kim Jong-un. This move is to cope with the current situation. When war provocations by the US and South Korea are being approaching the red line, North Korea is said to be about to conduct more weapons tests to coincide with joint exercises between the US and South Korea. Leader Kim Jong-un inspected the Hwasong artillery unit, the force responsible for important operations of the Korean army in the West. On this occasion, he emphasized that the North Korean military needs to always be alert to all war preparation activities of the enemy, while maintaining and regularly training strong response capabilities to completely prevent dangers. Chances of military clashes on the peninsula. He also stated that fire attack units must be rigorously trained to achieve the utmost perfection in carrying out two strategic tasks: preventing war and seize the initiative in war by steadily increasing exercises simulating real war in various situations. Because they can. The final reason why North Korea is an aggressive country is because it can be so. North Korea has taken aggressive actions against neighboring countries since its founding in 1948 after the North Korean War. North Korea has used espionage, kidnapping, assassination, and propaganda broadcasts, especially targeting South Korea and Japan. As a result of these actions, the international community did essentially nothing but tough sanctions, and repelling North Korean forces in the Korean War without major retaliation is done towards the Kim regime due to its hostile attitude. This is a major reason why North Korea continues to be aggressive. Cannot ignore the support that North Korea receives from China for reasons. Why is there so little action against the country's aggressive actions? China is the only major supporter of North Korea and provides vital economic and military support to Pyongyang. North Korea is very important to China's own strategic interests, and thus its willingness to accept a degree of hostility towards what are often mutual enemies. These are the reasons why North Korea has become an aggressive and warlike country. Thank you for watching the video. If you find it interesting, remember to like and share. This is the end of the video. Hello and see you again.